Hello, welcome back to session 73 of our Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. How's everyone doing?
Thank you.
Doing good?
Pretty good.
Good, good. You're welcome, Matt. Been a week. How's everyone been? Good? Getting back into it? We didn't have Zach
back,
last.
everyone.
Yeah, we didn't have Zach last session, so hopefully you're not too surprised as to what's happening. But that being said, let's just get right into it then. So last we left our heroes, you had arrived in Lunarion at the head of an Azera refugee group escaping Kakarot. Having travelled through the moon portals, you inadvertently brought them into the middle of what seems to be a vicious siege for the city of Lenora, which had spilled over into the small town of Lunarion on the lake. So getting there and sort of helping organize a kind of ferry retreat over the lake, you've begun to hold on to the docks of the city as you watched an invading army approach up the road, helped by your Azera allies, some of whom had agreed to stay hidden in the trees to ambush the army upon their advance. They also planted the remainder of your barrels of gunpowder on the road, which you blew up to slow their advance. So even though a large number of the attackers were killed in a big fireball of death, which left a huge crater, they were soon passed by from the ever-advancing reinforcements coming up from behind them. So you begun your last stand of the docks as you desperately tried to buy time for the final ships to come and take away you all. So let's just get right into it, shall we? You can hear the beating of war drums and the shouting of orders as the assault troops arrive and cross the thresholds of the town. Ballistas begin to be set up, and you also notice shade steel-clad knights wade into the forefront of battle. In the north of the town, a wall of fire rages, holding off some of the reinforcements started by Cascus. And Arakin surveys the battlefield from a nearby building roof. So his turn, he takes off into flight and flies over, hovering in the air just above you all. He shouts, "The last boat is approaching. Return to the docks," he shouts. And then he breathes out a cone of fire to help your retreat, which is going to be this way. So it's going to affect these guys. So these three need to make reflex saves. I think probably 3 crit fails. Oh, yes, it is. As his whiskey-infused breath attack shoots out and does 16d6 fire damage, doubled. And completely burning these 3 squads where they stand, and buys you a little bit of time. Quick, move. Cyan.
Okay, so we're headed towards the docks.
Yeah, there's a number
right?
There's a number of soldiers just waiting at the docks. There's a boat that's just coming into harbour now, so just assume this one has just come in. That'll be enough for the rest of the army, and then the boat afterwards will be enough for you. Or you can get on this one if you want. It's your choice.
Hang on. I'm just gonna check how quickly I can get to the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I can get it to about here, I think. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right, you start running up for the docks as on this front, one of these Kaidas knights just marches forward. That's one action. Leading a few squads behind him. He's just going to sit up here. And then this one, surrounded by you 3, is going to make 3 attacks out at each of you. So first one on Henning, second one on Calcifer, and the third one on Cascus. 35 on you, Henning.
Yeah, that hits.
That hits. That's 16 damage.
I will shield block that.
slashing.
Actually, I will glimpse of redemption and shield block that.
Okay. He's
So that'll
still
reduce
enfeebled too.
So what do I take?
Oh, is you ready? Oh, I think I might have already done that since my
I
last
think-
turn. Then.
Oh yeah, because I think someone did an attack. He did an attack of opportunity on someone. Yeah, he's definitely attacked since your last turn. So.
Okay. Yeah, just shield block then.
Okay.
So that would reduce it by 15. No,
So that's 1
17.
damage.
Yeah,
Heading.
15.
That's 30. Hang on, just a sec. Oh yeah, that's 30 to hit you, Calcifer.
Nope.
Okay, and 18 on Cascus, that misses. Alright, Cadell's turn. Cadell starts backing up as the overwhelming force on the south begins to approach the docks. More reinforcements, please, he shouts. As one of these side-down troops is going to whirl around and just use 3 actions to move up and block up the gap. Henning.
Are we killing this guy?
I don't think he's taken any damage yet, by the way. So
Should we run?
It's a gamble.
I know you'd like the armor, but you've also got to get the armor
Yeah.
off him.
I mean, we can carry a
body.
body, but the bigger issue is actually killing him when he is quite strong, and
Okay.
literally wearing the armor that will prevent us from killing him.
Could we-
I mean, maybe if we can kill him in the time that it takes, then we don't even want the armor. Maybe it's not good.
Can
enough.
I do a step back to disengage him? I don't know if he's done an attack of opportunity yet, but I don't really want to find out.
it's just been his turn, so he's got it
Oh.
back now.
Yeah, so I'm going to just step back.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna go here.
yeah. And then how much movement speed have I got at the moment? I will have 35 feet. So,
So that's 70 feet in total.
yeah, I'm just going to retreat back to
Wanna
wait
go there?
that marker. Yeah.
All right. Henning starts to disengage and then run away from the knights, who, like you can obviously feel the troops advancing on you. These troops are going to march forward. And then they're going to lock in with your Zero Warriors. They're blocking off, obviously, this road here now. These troops are just going to step forward and get ready for battle. Form up. All right, these soldiers begin to march up and immediately crash into the Sidonet Arms Squadron, who need to defend themselves. Lower halberds. Take 15 damage, and immediately you watch as this group of soldiers are immediately overwhelmed and killed. This army is going to move up here as well. And then these squadrons are just going to slowly move up. Alright, Hanera. The boat is here now. There's enough... there might be enough space on the boat for all of you now. Now that a couple of squadrons have been killed during the fighting.
Looking like everyone's backing off, I think I am going to I'm gonna cast Electric Arc on these two.
Okay.
Let me see if they're in range. Yes. I'm gonna move into range. I'm going to cast this as a cantrip.
Okay.
So could they do reflex save, please?
Sure. Is it just these two?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A bright bolt of energy shoots out past the Azira warriors and hits the two. They got a 22 and a 21 on their reflex save.
Okay, they're both regular fails.
Okay.
It's 21 electric damage.
All right.
And then I'm gonna move back because I'm still hasted. Whoop.
All right. Is that your turn?
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, they're a little bit smaller. They've taken a bit of damage. Calcifer. The Sidon Knight in Shade Steel armor stands in front of you. His sword in his hand. He's ready for a fight.
I'm going to raise a shield.
Yeah.
I'm then going to cast Lay on Hands on Cascus.
Okay.
So he will get back 36 health.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, run, and give you a push.
That's not minus 64 Cascus. That's plus 64.
Ah!
Oh god, that was that was.
It burns!
Oh, I touched the wrong spot.
Evil lay on hands.
I got like a weird bug where it was like, this bit does not register. And I put 104 in it. So I don't know what's going on there.
Weird.
So yeah, basically just pushing you 5 feet away from me so that you don't have to bother with disengaging.
Okay.
And that's
yeah,
my
Arakin is
actions.
hovering above you as well. That's your 3 actions.
Yep.
Okay. Is Hank moving anywhere?
Oh, good question. Oh, why won't it? There we go. Hank will go. I think Hank's currently flying, so getting around that guy might be a bit awkward. Kind of forgot he was there. He'll run down to this squad here.
An attack?
No, he can't. He's only got the one. That's it for me.
Alright, okay. Music. Alright, where are we? Alright, this Sidon squadron is going to move up. And attack with their halberds, just one action, lower halberds. Reflex saving throw. That is a success, so they take half damage. A couple of men die during the fight, but yeah, they're holding on for the most part. All right, this group is going to start marching up. As is this group. And the knight is going to start marching with them as well. This group is going to just wait here while the fire is blazing. The Zero Warriors are just going to start backing off a little bit. Start defending the ships. And this group is waiting. Cascus.
I just get on the dragon's back.
It's flying in the air at the moment. You can wait until next turn though. You can. He might
Yeah,
be able to pick you up if you're asking.
I will wave my arms.
Okay.
Will that cost an action?
No, it's fine.
I'm gonna move here. I was thinking of doing another ball of fire. I don't think it's concentration. It's not concentration. Sorry. See why reason I can do another one.
Maybe look.
Hold on, I was reading it. Oh, sorry, I just realised I have made a bit of a mistake though. Sorry, the one above should only be 60 feet long, not 120 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the one, the ballista on the left probably would have got a couple. Well, ballista on the left.
Would you rather it be here or
I'd
this
say
way?
let's get rid of the 60 foot on the left hand side.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the ballista did shoot through, didn't it? So it already got its target lock.
Just bear with me.
Yeah, I don't think it hindered them.
Okay.
So what I'll do instead is I will do a wall of fire. But do it. Oh, what do I do it? So it's 4 there. So I can do it within so it has to be 120 feet.
There, there we go. Is that
Could I
better?
do... Yeah, that's better, mate. Could I do like a wall of fire, like where I don't know if you can see that, but from the box northwest of Cadell
Yeah.
to up kind of northwest up to about where my mouse is here at the moment. It's like the 60th foot across there.
Do you want me to
maybe?
make that 60 feet?
Yeah, like maybe put it a bit more of an angle so there's like a one-person line can get through the dock bit, so the guys, the soldiers who are kind of behind might have a chance of getting out. Yeah, I think that's the best play.
Okay, because they can't go. Well, they can go single file, but it'll slow them down.
Well, that's fine. No
Okay.
sacrifice, no victory.
Okay. All right. The you set up a second wall of fire here, then, yeah.
Yep.
All right. This house catches on fire and starts blazing. By the way, but yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. This squadron just sort of stops by the wall. Blocked off by it.
Mhm.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is gonna fire crossbows at reflex saving throw. Natural 1 on the reflex saving throw, so they take double damage.
Who's this on? The Sidon or the?
This is the Kaidos troops are firing at the Sidon troops, so they take 24 damage. Oh, they're looking very injured. They're looking very depleted now. Yeah, this boat that's here is enough to carry everyone now. All right, this ballista, it's going to aim. That brings it to 3. Did I just remove someone from the? Oh no. No, it's fine. Don't worry. All right, yeah, it's going to aim, and that'll be its third one, and then it's going to launch. So it's going to fire a burst right here. So can Cyan, the Azura warriors, and these troops here make a reflex saving throw for me, please? As you watch as a huge ballista arrow shoots down into the docks. What'd you get? 25. That is a success. Sidon at
That means I get
arms.
a crit.
Oh, nice. Okay, you take no damage then. Unfortunately, both these Azira and the Sidon at arms troops are not as successful as you, and they both fail and take 33 damage each. So this is smaller. This is now large, and this one is now large. Ouch. And the ballista is now unloaded. Alright, this ballista is going to move up and it's going to aim. And it's going to load. It needs one more load. And this one is going to launch at Hank. Can Hank make a reflex saving throw, please?
Crit.
Ooh.
Crit success.
Yep.
Oh,
I thought that
damn.
one didn't have any people on it.
No, it does now. Yeah, but it did last turn. There's reinforcements coming up all the time, so. All right. Well, Hank manages to dodge out the way as it refuses to do any damage to him. All right. These troops are going to march up and start marching this way. That's 2 actions. They're going to fire crossbows. Oh no, actually no, they can't. That's fine. All right. This one is going to march up. All right, and these troops are going to start to retreat to the boat. It's 3 actions. This one is blocked off for now. And this one is going to fire at Arakin. Arakin needs to make a reflex saving throw. Oh shit, that's a crit success. It launches and you just watch as Arakin just nimbly dodges out the way of the ballista bolt. And this one is going to also aim and load at... but it can't fire. Alright, Arakin, seeing you waving down there, he's going to drop to the ground. Or fly down. Shouts over to you, Calcifer. Get on! As well as you, Cascus. And then Sam.
I'm just going to shout to just get to the boats, to the Azira lot, and start running. Hang on. Yeah, I'm just gonna get onto the boat.
Alright, cool. Alright, this knight is going to run up and is going to attack Hank. 36 to hit.
That is a hit, not a crit.
That's 34 damage. Slashing.
Okay.
And then he's going to attack again. That's the 32 to hit.
Is that with the -5?
Yeah.
Oh, that hits.
Alright, that's 33 damage.
Oof. Okay. Things down to...
This knight next to you, Calcifer, is going to push you. He's going to shove you.
Okay, that's DC 33. Athletics, yeah.
That's 33 on the dot.
Oh.
There you go. There's proof. So that's just 5 feet back, right?
Yeah.
Alright, he's going to walk forward and he's going to shove you again.
Bastard.
Is that with -5?
Yeah, it will be.
Okay. Natural 20 for a 43 -5, whatever that is. That's a natural 20.
Okay, well it'll be a crit.
So he's shoving you 10 feet then. Alright, so you do go through the fire, don't you?
Yeah.
So what's the damage on that?
Wall of fire damage is 46. Any creature that crosses.
Can you roll it? Can you roll that for me? Thank you.
And yeah, sure. I'll just do it like in the chat because it's set.
Today, Cascus accidentally hurts us with his own magic.
Oh yeah.
Today, and Calcifer's now trapped behind the wall of fire.
Not that bad.
10 damage.
Oh, he
Calcifer.
can walk through.
Yeah, the knight shoves you back, and then before you know anything else, he's right on top of you. He kicks you through the wall of fire, and you smack against the building behind. Obviously, the troops and the ballista setting up nearby you see. And that's the end of his turn. Cadell shouts to the soldiers, "To the boat! Come on!" And he holds out an arm to help you across the area. Soldiers are going to fall back. That's fine. They can use 3 actions to get there. All right, Henning.
Kind of seeing I'm a bit surrounded here, I'm also going to run to Arakin and jump on
Okay,
Arakin.
yeah. That's fine. You can run up to him and mount him.
I'm going to say we need to help Cascus. Not Cascus, Calcifer.
Arakin turns around and says, "All right. he shouts over at the boat, "Go!" So hopefully you on the boat can get going. Do you want to do anything else, Henning? That was an action to move up to him, an action to get on top of him.
I don't.
You are hasted, aren't you?
No, that was the last. That was the last combat. I think that needs to be
No,
taken
I
off.
haven't hasted only myself.
Okay.
So selfish.
That's so I could run faster.
I don't think I've got anything I can do with one turn. No, not really. My pistol's away at the moment, so I can't use that.
Mhm.
Okay, well.
All right, you can just
I
hold
will
on for dear life.
Take cover on
Okay.
Erican behind like a big scale or something.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, the soldiers are just sort of waiting by the fire, just to wait for it to burn out. These soldiers are going to approach. They're going to fire crossbows, 10-foot burst. Yeah, can Cyan, Hanera, then Cadell, and this squad make reflex saving throws, please?
Uh, 30. If that's a success.
That's a crit. Well, yeah, that's a crit success for you then. Hanera 24. That's a success. And then it's a critical success for Cadell, and then a fail for this squad. So Hanera takes half damage. So Hanera, you take 6 piercing damage. This squad takes 12. And Cadell takes nothing, and Cyan takes nothing. They are albeit a bit worried about the fire, so they're not pressing forward just yet. And same here. Oh, actually, these guys are going to turn and lower halberds on Hank. Sorry.
Okay, reflex save.
Reflex save, please. Thank you.
38.
Oh, cool. Hank takes no damage. Hank's dog armor is too powerful.
He got that dog in him.
By the end of this campaign, he will have shade steel dog armor.
Alright, Hanera, it's your turn. The people are currently crowding around the boat. Do you want to get on?
Yeah,
Alright.
I would like to get on the boat. And then also, I would quite like to stop this person attacking Hank. Can Hank fly?
Only when you pour a potion of flying in its mouth.
Well, okay. So, have you done that?
I have not.
Okay. Is it looking like he's gonna be able to escape?
I can recall him if I get line of sight.
Yeah, that's true.
So hopefully you should be able to do a flyover. Extraction.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna get on the boat then.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna just do another cantrip.
On who?
I'll do electric arc on these two because I can't see the others because they're
Sure.
behind a thing.
Is that reflex save?
Yeah.
How many electric arcs do you have left?
It's cantrip.
And the electric arc is a cantrip. Is the
yeah.
other one. And
Okay, natural 1 on the first squad, and then 26 on the second.
I'm doing this before I move into the
Yeah, that's
thing. Okay, it's a 31 save, so
Okay, so that's a crit fail and a fail.
basic save. So this and
Alright.
double it. Ah, what? That's awful.
That's a fair bit of damage.
I mean, I got 2 1s and 3 2s.
Oh, well, yeah, at least you managed to cut down a bunch of them with your electric arc, slamming into their metal armor, frying them as they stand. All right, that's your turn, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Calcifer. You sort of for half a second you're knocked out, and then you wake up. You see the wall of fire before you. The silhouette of the knight behind the flames, marching towards you.
Okay, I'm just going to run straight back through the wall.
Okay.
Can I go this way as to avoid
Sure.
opportunity attack? So
All
that's my
right.
movement.
Can you roll damage again, Cascus?
Yep.
Thanks. All right, 15 damage, Calcifer.
Okay.
You run through. The Curtis Knight sort of swipes out at you as you walk past, but you're just a bit too far out of his reach.
Then I shall raise a shield and mount Arakin.
All right, you jump onto Arakin. You see Henning gathering himself for the flight as well.
And I'm just gonna kind of like say to Arakin as I go, just like, just do a little flight. Mind just doing a little flyover for Frank. Stay within 60 feet.
All right. All right. What's Hank doing? Anything? He's going to attack or?
Hank will. He'll just lash out at the group beneath him.
Okay.
It's unlikely to really do much to the guy above, unless he did like a trip or something. But you know. Okay, 33.
33. That is a crit.
Nice.
Hank viciously bites into the soldiers that are fighting him.
Okay, low roll, but 22.
22 damage. They're looking injured, that's for sure.
Just, like,
He just starts
grabs a
staring
couple
them
of them, it's like tossing them to the sides.
Yeah. He's like the same size as many of them. Or maybe, well, he's larger. Yeah.
He's large.
Yeah, like one elf fits into his mouth and he just sort of passes. All right, that's Hank's turn, yeah?
Yep.
All right, this squad is going to march up. It's going to fire another round of crossbows. Cyan and Hanera, can you make reflex saves, please?
$29.
39.
All right, 29 and 39. That is 2 crit
I'm just-
successes.
Matrix.
Cadell gets a crit success as well, and this squad gets a success, so they take half damage. You can see how the squads die very quickly. So that's half damage. Oh, there's not many of them left, actually. I'm getting very injured now. Alright, this squad is going to march up down here. Oh. This squad is just waiting, as is this knight. Alright, these guys are going to start marching up. The Azera warriors are going to start falling back, and they're just going to get on the boat. And these guys are marching up now. Alright, Cascus.
Alright, so I'm going to use an action to get onto Arakin.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to use my other 2 actions to throw 2... what's it called? Produce flames at the Shade Steel Wield.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Do you want to...
I will, hold on, I'm just checking. I just want to check if my Flaming Fusillade changes anything. No, that's only if you heighten it. Cool, so it's just 2 of them. I will legend point the first one because I'm just not even going to kill him, but that's sending a message.
This feels a lot like Dark Souls boss music.
33.
And at the end of that turn,
33 hits.
Alright, and then the second one. 28.
28 misses.
Okay. So damage. 22 fire damage.
22 fire damage.
These two kind of fireballs on either of his hands kind of lobs.
Yeah, just. What would kill a normal soldier sort of is glanced off mostly by his shade steel armor as he looks up to you. His armor not even scorched by the blast, it seems. He has obviously taken a bit of damage, but he watches as you mount onto Arakin, prepare to fly away. With a look of, I don't know, can't quite tell under his armor. Okay, is that your turn then?
Yeah.
All right. These troops continue to march up. This one is going to aim and load. That's 2 actions. 3 actions. Sorry. This is going to load and then fire. But he was aiming at Arakin, and Arakin's moved now, so that's going down. All right, this one is going to fire. It's going to load and fire. All right. This one's going to march up. It's going to lower halberds. Can you all make reflex saving throws, please?
Yep.
$23, that's a success. 35 is a crit success. 37 is a crit success. So Cascus and Calcifer take no damage. Arakin gets a fail on that. And Henning, you take half damage. So Henning, you take 6. Arakin takes 13. Alright, and this one is going to fire a volley of crossbows at you. Can you all make reflex saves again? Uh, 33 and 34 critical successes. Just waiting on you, Cascus.
I did a 23. You can see it.
Oh, 23. Okay, that's just a regular success. So you take half damage. That's 3 damage you take, Cascus. And that's it. These troops are going to get onto the ship. This one is going to just do a check to see whether it can aim through the wall of fire. Yes, it can. 15. It's going to aim and load. This one is going to aim and load. And then this one is going to aim and fire. Can everyone on the ship make a reflex saving throw, please? So that is Hanera and Cyan.
28.
The moment. Reflex. 39 again. That's another crit.
That's a good success for you. Hanera, that's a success. You take half damage. That's 14 damage. Oh, and unfortunately, these I think the last of these Sidon's arms are going to be killed.
What if
Yeah.
wait? What if I don't know if that'll work.
Yeah, unfortunately, the ballista shot just shoots through the middle of all of you and hits the massive soldiers that are gathered on the ship, knocking most of them over the edge. And some more reinforcements. Sorry, just bear with me.
Bum, bum.
All right, Arakin, with you all on his back, says, "Hold on!" And he's going to fly up. Over here. 45 feet in the air. Just takes off and flies over the wall of flames, flies over the massing troops in Lunarion docks, the city having fallen. It's clear that Arakin's just flying over the lake. He's not even going to land near the boat, so you guys got to get going. All right, Cyan.
I guess I'm just going to delay until everyone's on the boat. I don't really know what else I can do. Are there any armaments on the ship?
No, there's not. This is like a fishing vessel. A brave fisherman having thingied it over here from Lenora. All right, this knight is going to attack Hank. 41 to hit.
That's a hit. Oh no, he is flat-footed, isn't he?
Oh, he is flat-footed. Yeah.
That's a crit.
All right, that's 42 slashing damage on Hank.
Okay, he's down to 31.
And he's going to attack again. 38 to hit.
That's a hit, not a crit.
Okay. That's 30 slashing damage.
He has 1 HP.
Shit. And then the Kaidas Knight is going to attack with his third attack.
Oh dear.
21 to hit.
That is not a hit, thankfully.
Okay. Unfortunately, misses
Thank
Hank.
fuck.
Where is Calcifer?
Calcifer's
Oh,
on
Arakin.
Arakin.
Oh, I thought you were 30 foot up.
Yeah, he was attacking Hank.
Oh. Okay,
This
yeah.
knight's gonna run up. All right, Cadell's like, all right, it's time to go. let's hop on. And then the troops get on board. And Cyan, I guess it's your turn then. Cyan, you there?
Zach said
I don't really have much to do other than.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
just because you delayed. That's all. I didn't know whether you had to.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, no, I just I don't really have anything I can really do outside of getting the boat moving. So.
All right. So
just do
yeah.
that.
You slap the farmer on the back. The fisherman on the back, and unmoor the boat. As you all start to drift off. These soldiers are currently blocked off by the fire. Alright, Hanera, is there anything else you want to do as the boat thingy's off? This will be the last round if you want to do anything.
No.
Okay. Calcifer?
I'm going to
You're
recall
on
Hank.
Arakin's back. Yeah, so pointing your shield down at Hank, the wisp of light shoots out and engulfs itself around Hank. Hank looks very grateful.
Like, good boy, good boy.
What happens if he dies?
Look how much blood is left behind.
If he dies, then
I
he's
think he
dead.
just goes back into the shield.
Yeah, but you just don't want him to risk it anyway.
Yeah. I don't think it's like
alright.
an auto recall or anything like that. But yeah, I'll raise a shield
Okay.
and yeah, I guess that's it.
Cool. The last of you on the boat, can you do a reflex saving throw for me, please, as the last round of crossbow bolts comes forward?
us on the boat.
Yeah, so Hanera, Cyan.
29.
29, that's a crit success for you.
It's 3.
Okay, cool. Everyone got a crit success. The troops begin to let you go, I think. They're not going to worry about anything else. Cascus, is there any last thing you wanted to do? Holding on to Arakin's back as he starts to fly away.
How far up, high up am I?
You're
45
45 feet up, yeah?
Produce flames 30-foot range and size. I'll just hold on.
All right, so you fly off into the distance.
Did it actually, kind of looking away, like how many more troops are there coming to the town?
Make a perception check for me.
Sure. Perception. 20. And like,
So looking out into the town, this was but the I guess vanguard force of maybe a couple of Kaidas battalions. So there's probably about 2,000 troops
further.
in the region, in the area, sort of coming towards the town, sort of approaching it.
Yeah.
But as you fly away, you do see the remnants of this huge crater in the road. It almost seems like half a football field has been dug up from the explosions.
Yeah.
And a number of fires are still raging, as well as like scattered bits of elf.
Okay.
A large calamity has been
struck.
struck. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those Ashmali football fields. It's not an Adnan.
Yeah.
It's fine. All right, so you begin to make your way over to the waters. Although it doesn't feel very secure, it feels a lot more safe than where you just were. As the last remnants and the last holdouts of House of Valoran troops are overwhelmed, those who haven't been managed to get on the boat. And Lunarion has fallen. So you have a few hours of crossing until you get to Lenora. Cadell sort of sits himself down on the boat. You see in the distance a number of other boats from the extradition. In the distance, you see a number of civilians sort of weeping and wailing, Azera citizens as well as Lunarion ones, as well as soldiers, people caught in the crossfire, as well as members of the Savas, of course, who had to retreat from their base. Cadell sort of holds his head in his hands. As for the rest of you flying on top of Arakin, do you want to just meet back up at the other side of the shore?
I think so. Yeah. I think,
yeah. You take
enjoying the kind of the respite.
Yeah, you take a few moments just to rest up, to recover a little bit, and do anything you need to do in terms of that front. And like an hour and a half later, you dock on the Lenora side of the lake. A quite well-maintained dock front, still not taken over by the enemy troops. House Valoran soldiers are hurriedly guiding people up the steps and into the city proper. As you meet up, Arakin landing, and a number of guards obviously shocked, but noticing that Arakin is on your side, not asking too many questions. As you all meet up again, Cadell meets up with Isolde, who was on one of the other boats, gives him a hug and says to you, "Thank goodness you all made it."
I'm kind of looking around. Does it look like how many people? Like, does it look like most people got here? Are there lots of Sidan who have made it? Sidan, sorry, not Sidan.
You suspect that maybe half of those who started holding out have returned. A large group of the soldiers, citizens, even the Azira have taken losses. It's not a happy mood in the slightest. A lot of people are anxious. They're worried, injured. Like a few of them have wounds, such as bolts and shrapnel, and all sorts of fire burns and that sort of thing. But they are alive, and they're getting as much help as they can from the soldiers who are around. As you're sort of just gathering on the docks, a number of soldiers you recognize from the House of Aloran Guard, the Royal Guard, approach and recognize you as you recognize them from your time at the palace. The captain sort of approaches and says, you will be required at the palace if you're here to help with the siege. The prince would very much like to speak to you.
Expect to know less. Needless to say,
as soon as you're ready, of course.
Needless to say, he's with us. Pointing towards Arakin.
The guard sort of laughs and says, after the last few days, I'll believe anything.
So you try to parley with them. I would have thought, what's going on above would have put things into perspective a little.
The prince will explain everything when you meet him in person. Unfortunately, we have many things to attend to right now. Cadell says, well, it's been a long time since I've been at this city. Hopefully they're still welcoming. It'd be a shame to be left out of the gates at this important moment.
I'm pretty sure you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
Well, everyone does things to themselves. Some of them are fair and some of them are unfair. Isolde says, I managed to catch up with some of the people from the Savas. It seems that most of our most important documents, and she sort of nudges, to do with the war and other things have been saved. They might go through everything at the Savas, they might find some information, but I feel like it'll be a red herring for them to waste time there.
Did you have anything on the Azira there that they might have access to?
Our archivists took the unfortunate decision to burn what we could not take. So whatever is left, I'm sure will not be readable.
Okay.
I do not like the idea of burning ancient manuscripts, but we never know what House Kaidas or House Ignis will do with that information if it was to befall them. The Savas have been holding that information for many years, with the fear that in the wrong hands it could be used badly.
Knowing House Ignis, it would need to know small amounts of atrocities. Burning them was the right move.
Indeed. They will pay the price for what they've done.
Maybe we can make them write new books.
After a while, you see Kaphos and a number of the Azira having dusted off their wounds, started to be led into the city of Lenora itself. Kaphos says there are a number of inns and places at the city that have opened themselves up to refugees. I'm not sure how the defense of the city will do for us, though. We don't know whether we'll be in the city or whether we'll be able to hide somewhere safer.
I don't know. Either way, this isn't safe for us. We need to keep moving. The children, at the very least, risk being found out, and who knows what'll happen then.
Indeed.
If all else fails, I think there's an escape route from the palace. That's what they used to run the fuck away last time.
Hmm.
Well, if you could find some way of getting us some safety in the palace, I'm not sure whether the royal family will allow it or not. But if you can make our case. Otherwise, we'll be based around the Mighton Fine, I think. Feel free to find us when you have some more information.
Very well.
All right, so you begin to make your way into the city? Okay, so entering the city of Lenora, the first thing that strikes you is this sense of unease amongst the entire population. People are boarding up their windows, they're bolting their doors, they're stockpiling food and hoping that they're not going to get completely ransacked. A lot of the soldiers are trying to keep the peace, but the amount of refugees who have flooded into the city over the last couple of days means that people are just sleeping out on the streets. They've set up tents, they've set up bits of cloth just to keep the rain off. And as well as the sort of talk about what's happened to the sky recently, I mean, the lack of sun, the gloom facing you all from above, so you can't even get any rest from it when you're looking at the sky. You enter the city, and I guess, are you making your way to the Palace of the Prophet?
That's where we're being asked to go, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna keep a mental note of where Arakin is.
Yeah, Arakin's with you. A number of...
Oh, he's with us.
Yeah, he's just sort of walking up the main boulevard alongside you all. Flanked, obviously, by House of Valoran Royal Guard. So the people around know that you're the business. Arakin says, it is not very often elves have given my kind such grand entrances.
Me neither, mate.
I think the rules have gone a little bit out of the window, given what's going on around us. I think they will appreciate anything they can get.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that it's going much better than we think. It would be a shame for all this to get invaded. As you enter the palace and make your way up into the chambers of the council, you find Prince Althisius in the war room, surrounded by generals, making a plan for the defense of the city. You overhear some advisors telling the prince that, Prince, you must retreat, hand over the city, let the Kaidas forces take over, and we can fight again another day. We aren't able to defend here. The prince sort of waving their defeatism off. Another advisor says, my prince, the Kaidas forces have already begun to enter the north ward of the city, outside of the interior wall. And Prince Hortesius says, we will never retreat. We will fight to the last here if we must. But make sure the passes to the north ward are blocked off. Another advisor says to him, there is a question, my prince, about the citizens of the city. If House Kaidas decides to invade, the citizenry will be in danger. We cannot take them all in the Palace of the Prophet. We can take a few. The others will probably have to stay in the Undercity. We'll be able to block them off there and have a token force to defend them. Prince Althisius notices you all enter. He says, hold that thought just a moment. As he smiles at your approach. Well, I never expected to see you on this day.
No, me neither. But I am glad of it.
I hear that you have a dragon, or at least something that appears to be of a sort.
Yes, we've made a few helpful friends along the way.
Arakin's just crouched over in the hallway outside, unable to enter the war room. He says, "Well, I suppose we should get to business. What news have you got for us? Where have you come from?"
Look to Cyan.
Yep.
Kind of. I'm from all over. There was a mission we needed to undertake. Has a very covert nature. There are thousands of. Was it Ignis troops we saw coming?
Yeah,
There are thousands of
and-
Ignis troops on the way
from the south.
from the south. Yes.
Yes, my fears have not been alleviated to that front. I heard that we had a mighty fine battle, but unfortunately we routed. The last survivors of that battle have entered the city already.
We've sadly made things more difficult for you as well. We've brought refugees in. We need sanctuary in here,
In the palace.
in the palace, yes.
There are thousands of citizens who expect to be housed in the palace as well during this hard time.
Yeah, they don't need to be in the palace. They just need to be.
They need to get out of the city.
Why?
The moment that I
They
have
can
a
just
fe-
be with the rest of everyone. I thought they were going on boats
The-
anyway.
no, staying in the Undercity risks detection, Panera.
The ones
In a
that are
time
left
like
aren't
this,
fighters.
there'll be moral panics.
Well, I don't think it's a good look that we bring refugees to the city and then everyone else has in the. Yeah, I don't think that people will be happy with that.
And what of our children when they're discovered? What will the elves think when they have people like us amongst them? They'll think we're spies.
My
Well,
prince.
why
What?
would you be detected?
Because they're
But-
children. They're not used to
Push Cyan
being
into the
hidden.
What does what do you have to say, Calcifer?
The escape route that they took last time when they, ran away. Do we know where that is? Do we know where that leads? Whether
That
it's been
goes-
cut off?
That goes from Daeren Kydus's old chambers, if I remember correctly.
Think we'd get people out that
The
way?
Tower of the Keel. You absolutely could. There is currently not a lockdown of the palace here. But did you say something about boats?
Well, but may I just one more thought, my prince? Have you checked the escape passageway anytime soon? You see, it could be a bit of a hole in your defense as well as an opportunity to escape. No.
One of the prince's captains of the guard speaks up and says, "Do not worry. We have that on our understanding. We have blocked it up as need be. But there is a palisade that we can open up."
I just do like a quick sense motive on this guy.
Yeah, go on.
So what's the sense motive perception?
Yeah. Yeah, he just seems like a kind of plain individual. It's quite hard to tell what his motives are. He seems loyal.
Yeah, I understand. Sure, he will do what is best. They know it is there. Just bear in mind.
Prince Horthesia says, "Unfortunately, Daeren Kydus knows better of this city than almost anyone on this continent. It's not going to be its inner workings that help us win this battle. It's going to be through the vigor and courage of those who fight. Am I right, everyone?" And all the generals say, "Yes, my prince."
Oh gosh.
He says, "Okay, if you needed boats, if anyone needs to leave, I understand that you all have sensitive friends and family to look after. There are boats leaving the city. They are more expensive than usual, but those who are not able to fight are being incentivized to leave if they can. So there are boats still leaving. We do still have a trade route open in the bay, which will take them to House Darwin.
Where we were hoping to take our refugees back near Port Edron.
You will be able to get a boat from Daeren anywhere, but right now, unfortunately, the boats are only going one direction. If you can find someone to take you another way, then go for it. But that's where the most of the supplies are coming from. So that's where the boats are going to. Another advisor says, my prince, just a question on the defenders of the city. How many defenders would you like in the Undercity defending the citizenry? Prince Holthus says, how many do we have? And he says, my prince, we have about 44,000 soldiers available, some of whom are injured and bloodied from the previous battles. And Prince Holthus says, 10,000. 10,000 defenders to the Undercity. It will be enough to defend everyone in the city, hopefully.
Can I
you
do
hear,
a
you,
sense
you,
motive on him?
Yeah, go ahead.
I get the view he's not very prepared for any of this.
No, he's only like 20 years old. He's young. He doesn't have...
Even for they're 20 years old,
No.
like for an elf as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He does seem a bit naive. 10,000 would be way too many soldiers to defend the Undercity, especially because they'd just be cut off from the rest of the defenders if House Kaidos takes over. Quite a lot of the advisors say, my prince, I think that might be a bit too large of a number. And he says, there is no price that we cannot. We must defend the citizenry if we can. If this city survives, but all the citizenry are dead, then there's no point in keeping it, is there?
My king, if I may, can I try and do a diplomacy test to try and make this slightly more convincing?
Go ahead.
My prince, if I may, you will obviously recall when Kaidos ruled the city, the citizenry were treated reasonably well. I think the risk of losing the citizenry is low. Without people, there is no city to protect. There is no city, and without no city, there is no point having this place. It may be a wise course of action to minimize the number of troops to protect the citizens insofar as they are in a relatively safe place. I feel like they will not be a huge threat, and you should prioritize your troops on defending the city.
2/3 of the citizenry live in the Undercity. You have to understand that keeping them in check, but also keeping them defended, is my job.
My prince, respectfully, I mean this is no insult. How long have you spent in the Undercity?
I passed through it once, I think.
I'm sure that perhaps we should defer to people who understand the layout of the city, and they would know best how many troops to send.
You mean the gangs?
I know it might put a bit of a bad taste in your mouth, but in a situation like this, you got to work with all the leaders, right? Not just the ones that are good taste.
My goodness. A number of advisors sort of whisper amongst themselves, and the prince says, very well, in that case, I will appoint you lot defenders of the Undercity for this garrison, for this siege, if you think you can do it better than me.
Okay.
Right.
I just think I would be better off elsewhere, but if you really want me there, I will go.
Well, what do you want? I can either defend the citizens or not.
Where's the Randon? What's he up to?
Oh, Loranjan! He sort of claps his fingers, and coming from another room, you hear the dropping of a spanner and sort of like a bang and a ow. As after a little moment, the kind of lanky figure of Lorandan sticks his head around the corner, with some welder's goggles on, smudged with soot. You called? Oh, it's you lot. He sort of comes into the room.
You're right.
Yes, that's our name. You lot. That's the name of our party now.
I'm sorry, the Adventuring Guild, and Lorandan does a deep bow as he says so.
Yeah.
Well, it is mighty appreciated to see you. Yes, I didn't know whether I'd see you before I croaked in the next few days.
I can't have you croaking before we, Anyway, Stone Guard, what's the sitch?
Well, I'm still looking for Mithril, unfortunately, but for the most part, ever since the cultists, this might bore you, my prince. Feel free to vanish, and Prince Odysseus says, "It's fine, don't worry." And he starts talking to his advisors.
In my head for saying there was like, feel free to go on your phone and play Candy Crush.
your candy tablet. Crush.
Here's your
Yes,
iPad.
Lorandan, do you have games on your phone?
Your eye rock.
Yeah.
Lorandan's just invented an iPhone just to keep the prince distracted. He says, ever since that cult messed with the Stone Guard, they do seem to go into a bit of a violent frenzy whenever I turn them back on again. That doesn't mean they're not useful. So I have put them across various parts of the city to turn them on if they get overrun by soldiers.
Would it be helpful to learn a spell? Or have a scroll of calm emotions?
Unfortunately, their emotions are more hardwired in, I think.
But maybe it would still work.
Maybe, but unfortunately, we have too many Stone Guard for it to work on all of them.
Okay.
But I have maybe 40 or 50 stationed around the city in various locations, ready to be turned on at a whim's notice. But that's really a last resort. If they're in the city, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
What about...
Another.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, God.
I just... it probably hasn't escaped anyone's attention that there are perhaps big armies coming our way from... It points up to the sky. Is there any way we could attract it to here? Maybe towards the Ignis lines?
Prince Odysseus sort of hears you say that and says, "We have." He sort of turns to one of his advisors and says, "What were you saying earlier?" And one of the advisors, a sort of like military chap, quite tall, like middle-aged elf, says, "We do suspect that in maybe another day and a half's time, the first of these strange attackers from above will start to land. They will not, I assume, attack this city. It is too well defended, and the soldiers are already too well armed and close together. But they may well attack at the outskirts of Daeren force." Prince Odysseus says, "Yes, which means that Daeren probably assumes that too, which probably means that he might be emboldened to really, really attack the city, so that he has some cover for when they do get here." So,
how do we know that the creatures above are logical, rational? How do we know that they are being directed?
Predators will not attack somewhere that is easily defended. They'll attack at the outskirts. They'll attack at the logistics lines.
Well, I understand that, but for all we know, they could just be ravenous, hungry monsters that feel nothing, not even predation, just hunger.
It's a very dangerous assumption.
Well, unfortunately, right now we don't have much else to think about than if we have to defend against that and House Kaidos, I'm not sure that we'll be able to do it. So I choose to believe otherwise.
What about the what are they called? The Whisperleaf Collective. They've got all sorts of monsters and stuff in there.
You seem to know more about the Undercity than I do. Unfortunately, I fear that's more your regard. Feel free to check it out if you need to. Anything that will help defend the city will be useful. Remember, I'm not really local to the city. I only came here recently.
Is there anything I can do to help you get these Stone Guard back working in proper order?
Lorandon says, unless you have any mithril.
I mean, I think we got a bit.
How much is a bit?
Not very much. Like, it would, so we would have, we'd mined a bit when we tried to do the dragon fire thing on it.
Show me, he says.
I'll produce the
Few
small
nuggets.
amount. The few.
He takes the bits of mithril that you managed to get, the ones that have that are imbued with a little bit of dragonfire.
Got these as
says
well.
that-
Show him the gem hearts.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you. He takes them and pockets them. He looks at the mithril and says, "This actually might be what I need. Come with me, my prince." And he sort of bows to the prince and says, "I'm sure that you'll be able to get caught up with him later. Come."
All right.
He leads you through a sort of oak double door and into his laboratory, where a lot of the stuff from the Emerald Armory has been hastily moved over somewhere a bit more defensible, as well as a couple of lab technicians who are just working away in the corner. He goes over to a big pile of scraps, where a kind of arcane bit of technology looks a bit like a remote control with like a gem on the top. He turns it over and starts playing with like a bit of arcane wiring that's in there, some runes. And he takes the glob of mithril and starts to say some sort of incantation over it. It begins to glow slightly, and he says, "Fantastic!" And he puts it into the machine and says, "I might need to do some experiments, but I think this might be what we needed."
Fantastic. Didn't realize it was that rare to you.
The prince and myself are busy, but we don't anticipate a Kaidos attack today. So you've got the rest of the day behind you. It looks like you're very weary and well traveled. I recommend that you will get some rest, to be honest. You're looking very tired.
Right.
Feel free
Alright.
to make yourselves comfortable around here. My quarters are just up the corridor on the left. Feel free to make them your home for a bit.
All right. Cheers.
There should be a fire raging in there, and there should be some food in the kitchenette. Kitchenette. How about that for a palace?
Right, you lot. What are we doing then? We going to bed, or are we gonna head down and talk to some people?
I need to talk to Arakin first, and then I
Oh.
can join you with whatever you're doing.
Oh, that reminds me. Lorandon, we got something that you'll want to see once you've got this sorted out.
Oh, yes. Something I would very much like to see, huh?
Yeah. Think of it as a reward for finishing your. Yeah, you don't get dessert until you finish your dinner.
Oh, you tease. I'll see you later.
All right, see you in a bit.
Is this how people who make things flirt with each other?
All right, so you just take a little bit of respite in Lorandon's room. It's sort of like it has a vaulted arched ceiling. There's like sort of murals and paintings of elven battles all across the ceiling, with a sunroof just in the top with a sort of green kind of emerald glass. Although there's no sun, you just see above you, obviously, the gloom poking through, and the light of the gloom, this sort of weird lunar kind of luminosity. Cyan, going out into the main grounds of the palace interior keep, you see Arakin just sort of watching everyone walking past. A number of people are obviously shocked when they see him, and a couple of people are approaching him and talking to him, and he says, as you approach, he says, "You know what? These elves are actually very nice."
I think they're mostly nice out of fear of the great big robot dragon thing that's keeping them alive.
Well,
Or helping to.
I haven't helped that well yet, but news travels fast. A lot of soldiers have already thanked me for helping on the docks. I'm sure they'll help you. I'm sure they'll approach you as well at some point. How can I help, Cyan?
You've known my people for a very, very long time. You said so yourself.
Indeed.
Did you know a Tauren very well?
I met him a few times. He came and visited me once.
Well, my people were facing a bit of trouble, and I was told that if I found this, and I pull out the sword, it would help unify us somehow. For whatever reason.
Ah, yes. A Tauren's sword. A masterwork.
It kills vampires.
Vampires?
Yeah, we found vampires down there. And the sword turned one to dust. I was wondering if you knew anything about that.
Let me cast my mind back, he says, looking off into the distance. You know, when I last saw a Tauren, it was before the battle which took his life. It was the Azira were marching for war, and he came and visited me just before he went. He told me something I never quite understood. He said that he found the solution. That he found the secret to the elves' longevity. And he found a weapon that could put an end to it. Perhaps he was talking about the blade.
But wouldn't that mean there's some weird connection between elves and vampires? Or does this specifically end immortals?
Those who are immortal have more in common, I fear, than they have different. The immortal elves were said to drink blood back in the day.
So this could be the only thing that can kill Daeren.
Many things can kill an immortal elf, let me tell you. But some things do it better. I assume a Tauren expected to use such a weapon on Eretzar before he was defeated.
The vampires we found didn't seem to know what it was, I don't think. They seemed less interested in it than the vault you were meant to be guarding.
Did you mention to him that they were Kaidus's lot?
I don't think so. I'll mention it now, if it helps. It was Daeren Kaidus's heir that it slain.
Well, it wasn't his direct heir. It was his
No.
second son. Yeah.
It was
His
the
second
one who was a
son.
bastard, right?
No.
Well,
This was,
okay.
it was Vane is a bastard, and also they have they have a bastard sibling called Fehar as well.
Oh,
Who's the
okay.
bastard?
Yeah, okay. Oh.
So he says, if it is Kaidos, then I wouldn't put anything past them. Even in my day, Kaidos was said to be interested in dark and occult things. It is why I decided to put an end to him before he got the upper hand of me. I fear that many people do not know that side of the story.
I don't know. This whole situation keeps getting worse. If you play it, the stop on the way to the city was only really meant to be checking in on people, see how they were doing, and then making my way to Adenira. Now it seems we're going the complete opposite direction.
Unfortunately, Arakin says, adventuring is much like that. You have one path that you desire to go more than anything, but you end up going every other path. I'm sure
My
whatever
mother-
awaits you in Adenera will still be there when you finally arrive.
My mother's there, and I don't know if I can wait much longer. It's family.
I understand that. But now you know what duty truly is. To put your family and loved ones to one side as you save others. There will be time, I'm sure.
Very well. I'm
You
gonna
should get some rest. You look very tired, he says.
I feel very tired. I am exhausted.
It has been a long time since you last rested.
I am going to ask, do you rest? Is it, do you just, can you rest in your state?
I'm not sure anything ever turns off, so to speak. But I do have my methods. Meditation, I think.
Well, if you wind up needing an oil change, I'm sure Calcifer will oblige.
He just laughs. Thank you, Cyan. Have a good rest.
And you.
All right, so what's everyone doing? Just kicking in front of the fire?
Having the
Okay.
catch up with Prince Holthisius.
Okay.
Just more like small talk, really.
Yeah, that's fine. You catch Prince Solthisius sort of moving between one room and another, and you sort of catch him in the hallway.
We've been able to do all the healing up stuff on
Yeah,
the way
that's
here.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hank
Yeah,
is no
you're
longer
just,
at 1
you're just gonna want a
HP.
long rest. You're just gonna want a long rest at some point. 'Cause you
Ooh,
haven't had
I
one
would
in-
Yeah.
really like some long rest.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna have exhaustion issues soon.
Would we just be going back to the floor?
For healing wise, yeah. Prince Holthisius says, Hanira, how can I help?
Well, how have you been?
Unfortunately, more work than ever.
Yes, it's not easy being in charge. Have you had word from my sister?
Which one exactly?
Either. I mean, I would most like to hear about Alora since she was kidnapped. But Cecilia, I guess I could hear about her too.
Last I heard, we had ravens from your mother that her army in the north had succeeded and smashed the Malfires. They apparently are too far away to help in this attack, but they are going to be making their way as soon as possible. I'm not sure what's happened on the front of your sister, unfortunately. The Raven did not have that information. I have not heard more from your mother since.
Okay, well,
But Kyabel was taken, and the Malfires, from the report, the Malfires were defeated.
good. I hope they put him down.
It is hard having siblings and relatives taken hostage. No one knows more than that than me.
Yes.
So
My-
I'm sorry.
My sister taken hostage by her husband, who's also my cousin. It's a very complicated situation. Okay, well, thank you. If you need anything, please do let me know.
Thank you, Hanira. I'm sure that your services will be needed in the morrow.
Yes. Are you acting as patron then?
Until my cousin is restored to his throne and captured from the grasp of Daeren. But unfortunately, you're a fool if you think I'm in charge. This is a narrow patchwork of alliances, all of whom seem to hate Daeren more than they like each other.
Well,
We're doing our best,
sometimes
unfortunately.
hate is makes people more loyal than love.
I would prefer peace, but you know how these things work.
Yes, I think it feels a long time since there's been true peace.
Not much in our lifetime, I'm afraid. Before
No.
that, there were centuries.
But hopefully when the patron returns, there will be peace again, and we can all just enjoy our lives and get on with it, rather than having to worry about this stupid war.
And he sort of motions to the sky. He says, "What do you think of that, then? An omen? Is it the gods punishing us?"
I don't think the gods would be punishing us, but they might be punishing somebody else. What have you done that the gods would need to punish you for? I say in a jokey way.
He looks uncomfortable. He says,
oh God, what's he done?
he says,
Cousin.
unfortunately, when most of the realm is united against you, it seems. It feels like it's very difficult to feel like you've done everything correctly.
I'm sure it does. But I wouldn't worry. If the gods have moved us this way, then it will have been for a reason. And hopefully it will be towards victory.
He nods. He says, "Oh, by the way, Silver Shadow is in the building. Her office is just down the corridor. If you wish to speak to her."
Her office?
Yeah, where she lives and works out of the palace.
Wow, I see you have a guest in your in the palace. Is she working for you? Are you working together?
She is just working as an emissary from the Sanctuary of Light. This is all. But if you needed any information about anything magical that she might require, give her a chat.
I will do. Thank you.
Well, I
cousin,
must be
and I will
off.
See you soon.
Yes, have a good rest yourself.
hmm
Um,
I would like to. When I say thank you and goodbye, I'm gonna really put emphasis on the cousin part because I want to be the favorite.
okay. Make a diplomacy check.
Okay. I'm just highlighting the fact. Remember that he's my cousin.
Yeah, if you get a natural one, he gets the ick.
Okay. Okay, if you.
Yeah, he smiles and says, "Good night, cousin." All right. So, Henning, what are you up to? Kicking it back by the fire.
Yeah, just relaxing.
You hear a whoosh of flames beside you, and you see Vance kind of defeatedly looking into the fire himself. It's gone worse than I ever expected.
Yes, I agree. We are in a bit of bother, aren't we?
He turns to you and he just sort of has this like quite comical looking sort of almost like a grin on his face and says, that being said, I feel like a lot of people are going to die tomorrow.
I think a lot more people are going to die before this is over. Not just tomorrow.
We have to get to the gloom, Henning.
I know. Got one of your brilliant plans to share?
Maybe it's worth asking Nyx and Cyan. I fear that whatever's happened to this realm, it is going to be even more unstable than ever. We might have hit it lucky that the whole realm didn't collapse in on itself. Whoever is behind all of this gloom stuff, they really don't know what they're doing.
Then we will need to put a stop to it.
He sort of sits back in the chair and says, "Well, a siege. You ever been in a siege, Henning?"
Not as a combatant, no.
They're wonderful. You sort of see in his eyes reflecting memories of thousands of years of experience. He says, "There's nothing more beautiful than a city on fire."
You do like your fire, don't you? I have to say, melting all those soldiers was quite fun.
Yes, you get it. This is an exhilarating thrill. Nothing beats it.
Hopefully more to come.
I'll make a warlord out of you yet, Henning. And he vanishes.
Let's get back to looking at the fire.
Cool. Cascus, what are you up to?
I was probably like in the same room Henning was in, but just like watching under the covers.
Just like in the cupboard, just like watching.
You didn't hear any of that.
It's like Henning turns around and you just suddenly see this like waft of bedding. Just a little bit.
I just
Come
have,
out,
like, the
Cascus. I
idea
know
of,
you're
like,
hiding.
Is Cascus
have-
just pretending to be a plush on the bed? Just
I
like
have a
sat up.
mental image of like Cascus in like a dressing gown with like a coffee, just like stood in the doorway, like. Wow.
Hey, don't act like you've not got murderous intents as well.
No, I have no ambiguity there. But you know, you've killed a lot of people, Henning. Now You're a-
And I'm sure we will
a
kill
lot of sin on your name.
I make no denial. I enjoyed it a bit.
Was that Vance? I assume it was.
No, that's me. Oh, no, you mean Vance was there.
He's rather
Yes.
theatrical. It was kind of hard.
Oh,
to
I thought
miss.
everyone could see Vance.
Yeah,
can,
when
but-
he's around.
He was sat in front of a very big velvet chair. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he just spawned that in. Like it's not
Well,
even.
I don't have
Miranda's.
many. I don't have many flaming people visit me, so If you see that, it's very likely Vance.
Noted. And you obviously understand that to me there is not just one fireplace in this room. There is about 10.
Oh yes, you've got the whole fire thing going on.
So it is quite hazy. To be honest, I haven't actually seen the gloom bit above. Everyone keeps saying it is up there, but I have not seen
Yeah,
it.
it just looks like fire to me.
Oh, it's definitely there. I reassure you.
What does it look like?
Dark, depressing, gloomy. Kind of what you'd expect it to look like.
You know, when your vision and perception is so much smaller, it is easy to forget about caring about things far away. You know.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I would watch out for Vance.
Watch out for Vance.
Well, you know, you sold your soul, sold mine. It has consequences.
Understandable, but I'm free of Vance now, essentially. The only reason Vance is still here is because, well, they're stuck in the sword. Can't leave. I assure you, Vance has no real control over me anymore.
And as
What do
you I guess as you sort of flicker the sword off on and off in your hand, you look down and you start to feel a sense of power that you hadn't quite noticed before, Henning. The power almost that you can shut Vance out if you want. And I guess without thinking about it, you've been shutting Vance out during this whole conversation.
See? I control it now.
I kind of side eye him a little bit. What do you mean?
Well, I can shut Vance out.
Nice try.
I can. I've been doing it this whole time. See? I'll unshut Vance out.
Vance appears.
That Vance is here. Shut Vance out. Vance is
He
gone.
just vanished. He just looked really confused for a second and then just vanished.
It's like the Homer Simpson coming out of like the hedge and then going back in and then back out.
See? Don't
That's
worry, Cascus. I'm in control here.
You hear a voice in your head, Henning, saying, "What are you doing, Henning? This power is not for you."
That's what you think.
You just
Did
thinking
you
that
say
back
that
to
out
him.
loud, or?
Well, yeah.
Okay. You hear Vance sort of being like, "Henning, don't play with this power. It's too much." And
Quiet
then,
you. I'll
yeah,
shut up.
you just hear Vance sort of banging against the sort of muffled wall in your head slightly, but you can no longer hear him.
It's just like this kind of awkward silence between the two of them.
Casca's just, I guess, Cascas, you just will back out of the room slowly.
Like Homer Simpson going into the hedge.
Just go back under the covers again.
Yeah, I literally, I just walk backwards, not turning my back on him. Trip over something slightly, maybe, but carry on going back, and then backwards climb into my bed.
Well, like Henning's like, Vance go in, Vance go out, Vance go in.
Henning's just gonna shrug, sit down on the chair, and sip some wine.
Yeah, all right. So you're going to get some rest, are you?
Yeah.
All right. So the night is there's an eerie silence to the city at night. Almost a suspense before the storm. I guess you dream. Yeah, you dream about greener pastures, being back at home when things were a bit more peaceful before the war began and came to this place. Even I guess to the recent memory of being here before the war broke out itself. The vibrancy of the city streets, the sort of almost the hope, I guess, on the people's faces that has been lost as of late. But as sleep catches you all, and fitful as it is, you do manage to get a long rest in.
Yay!
Yay.
About time. That was like basically a day's additional worth of adventuring that you guys did without.
We did level up though, and you said we could
Yeah,
have.
yeah. It was it was in function a long rest, but yeah, linearly not so much. All right, so you wake up the next day. Henning, you feel very well rested, almost free of a shackle that has bound you for a long time, as long as you can remember, since your death and rebirth.
Like, we have our break.
Oh yeah, let's have a break now then. Yeah. All right.
Yay! I
We'll
really
come.
need a wee.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, we'll come back.
Need to put the bins out.
Okay. Yeah, put the bins out. It's
Is that a
recycling
euphemism
bin.
or?
All right. See you. We'll see you after the break then.
All right, see you in a
for
bit.
those people. All right, welcome back. So just before the break, you all had taken a bit of a rest after returning to the Palace of the Prophet, catching up with Prince Holthisius and Lorandon, sort of talking with each other and doing questionable things with with Vance. So you wake up the next day refreshed, reinvigorated, but with the like kind of air of a bit of anxiety, I guess, from the soldiers that you can see from the ramparts gathering in the North Ward. What do you want to do? What's your plans for today?
Well, I think we should surrender.
To no one.
Yeah.
In the morning, you get a knock on your door, and opening it up, Cyan, you see Kaisu, the young Azira. Hey.
Oh. It's good to see you're still with us.
It's good to see you're still with us, cheeky. He said. It's fine. We're all okay. We took some losses on the boat, but for the most part, we're all right.
How's morale going?
I think people don't quite know what's going on, whether they're leaving or staying.
I'm trying to find a way out for us, but we can't leave the children there. They're going to get discovered.
My parents were talking about trying to get a boat. A number of the Azira were considering it when I left.
Problem we're facing is there's people already here who are going to try and get out as well. It's difficult. I can't exactly... We can try and find a boat, but they're all going elsewhere to where we're trying to go.
What happened to your boat? I thought you had a boat.
We sold the boat, and then we had another boat. I can't remember what happened to that boat. It's been a while.
Well, come find me if you've got anything different. But yeah, I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, stay away from anything people try and make you do in the Undercity. They're all bad news.
Okay. he backs out of the room. You see Cadell and Isolde appear. Well, have you decided what you're doing? You staying or are you going to leave?
Oh, I would like to stay.
Fantastic. Great news. I am also staying. Isolde steps forward and says, Cadell, you're always so strange to these people. I'm staying as well. So, the next thing we've got to think about is how we're going to defend this place.
Yeah. We were talking to Prince Orpheus last night, and he asked if we could defend the North Ward, or at least organise it.
Well, he was talking about the Undercity, but because the North Ward's
sorry,
been taken over.
the Undercity. If it figures that they don't really have much rapport with the gang leaders and such, the people that actually run the place down there. So if we can go and maybe get some heads together, might be able to figure something out. It's their city; they want to defend it, right?
The gangs of the Undercity, as Order says. If they know what's right with them, they will have all left by now. There's not much loyalty for them. You've got to also make sure they're not planning on betraying the city. Daeren Kaidos will have his claws in with some of them. His spy masters work wonders in these parts.
What would you recommend then?
I heard a rumor that Prince Hortesius was about to speak with an envoy of Daeren Kydus's in the Northward Tunnel.
I can see that going about as well as a lead dragon. Oh, wait.
Yes. Which is why we came, Cadell said. He says, it's probably better if we're there, just in case everything kicks off.
Do you
You
mean us
know,
or you two?
Well, we came to you.
Okay, so all of us are gonna be there.
Are they? So if this the North Ward, are they all going to have to come through that one tunnel into the city to invade?
There are passes across the hills to the top as well. It is more fraught. There are ramparts. Basically, there are ramparts up here, so they can still besiege the city and come over the top of the wall as well. But there's a main tunnel which goes underneath, which is, can be blocked off.
Yeah, so the tunnel ain't much worry, right? If we can block that off.
No, they've got to Port Cullis closed. I assume they're going to do the meeting through the Port Cullis.
But we can block that tunnel off, right? Even if we need to collapse it.
Yes, the tunnel is rigged for collapse already.
Right.
Just in case.
Alright.
Well, I've prepared my scrying spell. Shall I do it on Titus? Daeren?
Do you reckon he's here?
Oh well, yeah. Well, I want to know. That's why, and I'm sure there'll be some of his stuff lying around that I could use.
True.
Isolde says you could scry. You could wait until after the meeting, when he's having his meeting with his generals afterwards. You should hopefully be able to get a bit of information out of it.
Yeah, good idea. It is level 6.
Is older.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to know any of the shipmasters around here?
I'm sure I'm acquainted with a couple of them. Most of them are part of the House Daeren fleet. That's what's mostly in the base at the moment.
You wouldn't happen to know any that would, if asked particularly nicely and given a particularly large sum of gold, might take a group of refugees over to Port Hedron?
That can be... yeah, that can be arranged. They'll probably need to get a ship. They'll need to get a connecting ship. They won't be able to get one from here, probably. If you want to send them all as a group. 1 or 2 ships might be heading down there, but it depends how many you want to send.
Just enough to get my people out of the city before anyone realizes anything.
Very well. I'll speak to the dockmaster, see what I can do.
Okay, thanks.
That being said, if you wanted to catch this meeting, you should head off about now.
Let's
Don't want to
do
miss
that
it.
then.
Yeah, so is that what you want to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you head out of the Palace of the Prophets, and heading out the main gates, you catch up quite quickly with the royal caravan, guarded very, very securely by maybe a couple of hundred soldiers walking either side of it. A horse-drawn, sort of Kirax-drawn carriage, well defended. The door sort of half swung open. You see Prince Hortesius stick his head out and sort of watch as you guys walk alongside him. So you heard the news. Daeren Kydus wishes to surrender.
What?
That's the word.
I'm sure.
I am immediately on guard, and I'm going to be like doing perception checks and things to make sure there's no people trying to flank us or stab us in the back.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I just assumed he was making a joke.
Yeah, I took that.
I'm going to be. I'm gonna be using a legend point if that's alright.
Yeah, go on.
This seems like something that a trap would be great for. 49.
Okay. You're just sort of keeping out guard. Most of the people who are just sort of stood across the road watching are just citizens, just minding their own business. Prince Hortesius says, well, why else would Daeren Kaidas be sending us terms? I'm here to accept a surrender myself.
Oh,
I think they're asking for your terms.
Our terms? Lenora has never been invaded in the entire history of this place. It would take a thousand Kaidas fools to storm these gates.
I think they have that many people.
Prince.
I would
Prince.
caution the prince to not tempt fate.
Prince. Hold this. I would, during these negotiations, I would like to stand by your side, as a representative of my house, to give leverage to you, to remind them that the Trisfares won a battle against them, and they are a force to be reckoned with. I believe it would give you much bargaining power.
Very well, indeed.
I just want to protect him from being stabbed.
he says to one of his guards, "Make sure that the Lady Hanera has a full retinue of defenders." And the guard says, "My prince, we don't have that many spare soldiers." And he says,
Don't worry, I'm here.
"Make it happen." As for the rest of you, feel free to hop aboard the carriage and lay your weary legs to rest.
I'm
Feel free to
just
come
gonna
aboard.
whisper to Cascus, he's going to get us all killed.
Make quite a show, and frankly, it was a terrible thing.
I hear that you all, as you're sort of making your way across the carriage, Salthisia says, "I hear you all made your start in Rodrana. That's where you all met.
Yes.
If negotiations don't go very well, we might end up having to make our way there. We'll see how that goes."
I thought you just said that it was no matter.
He looks at you and says, "Well, when the doors open, we've got to keep morale up, huh?"
I see. Your wisdom knows no bounds.
I
This is,
would also like to suggest maybe we. In fact, no. Ignore me. It's fine. Sorry.
He says, "In truth, I'm glad that you all heard about this meeting. I wish for you to join me rather than my guard. Cannot be too sure."
So, are you actually a little bit how do I say with it, or are you putting on an act? Like, what's going on?
He says, House Kaidas and House Ignis together have invaded a lot of land. Most of those cities opened their gates before the battle for their survival even took place. If we're going to meet with Daeren Kaidas' emissaries, I'd rather it be with you. For some reason, I trust you more than my guard at the moment. You can never be too sure.
That's never a good situation to be in. You want to trust your guards more than anyone, mate. Your prince. Sorry, I'm not used to speaking to royalty.
Most of them,
Hanera looks offended.
most of them I do trust with my life, and do not worry, they will still be placed at the entrance to the tunnel. But much of which we might have to speak about, so I do not want them to hear. You understand that these sort of negotiations can be difficult.
Very well.
And it is better that It is better that you sing my praises, huh? Rather than my own god. That's fine. The caravan comes up to the tunnel, and eventually you disembark out. The guards, having cleared the way of onlookers, who are just like held at the stairway nearby. The first portcullis is raised into the tunnel, and then you step forward into it, I guess, with Prince Holthisius.
Mm-hmm.
He turns down his guard, a couple of whom say, "My prince, it is best if we go with you." And he says, "No, it is fine. I will go with this lot."
Hank will be out, by the way.
Okay.
I would also like to ask people who aren't at the front to keep an eye out for the Kaidas child that we supposedly killed, to see if it was actually them or if they've come back or whatever.
What
Just-
kind of?
Oh, you mean the dusted one?
Yeah, the one that we took up,
Oh,
All right.
just to
Yeah.
keep an eye out to see if we saw them, if we see them or not.
Point of order, if we're kind of tasked with protection right now. If shit goes down, you have to make a little escape. Get on Hank. Just give him a firm whack on the butt, and he'll get you out of there.
very well.
Can I
I'm sure it'll be
also whisper to Hanera? 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't have wanted to be a representative of House Chris Fair. What the fuck is going on?
I honestly, I just want this boy not to die because he has no idea what he's doing and he's never seen war.
Right, okay.
But he won't listen to somebody. I know him. Well, I know his family. They won't listen to somebody who's not of royal blood, I say with quotes.
Right.
All right. So,
okay.
walking down the tunnel, a portcullis after portcullis is raised, and then closes behind you as you make your way to the center of the tunnel. Eventually, you make your way to the end of the tunnel, where there's a number of Kaidas soldiers in the distance surrounding the tunnel entrance. They part, and you see stepping forward. A refreshed, more youthful-looking Daeren Kaidas. His short, once white hair is now darker, kind of almost salt and peppery. And as he steps forward, his eyes glow with a red hue. He smiles as you approach the portcullis, seeing him through the other side of the rusted gateway. "What foul magic have you wrought upon us, Kaidas?" Prince Holthisius says. "The prophet would be turning in his grave. Just look at you." Daeren Kaidas grins and stands up tall, stretching his tall frame before locking eyes with the prince and the rest of you. He nods towards you, Hanera. Lady Malfire. Memphis, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
You think you had me fooled? You're funny. Trisfers.
Well, we are funny enough that we managed to defeat your troops in the north. Yet, here you are. Back again. Here to laugh at my jokes, are you?
He chuckles. A pitiful distraction. No worries. They have been your allies have been distracted enough to not be here at this vital moment. He grins at you all and says, "So, on to business. Would it be unbecoming of me to propose an alliance at this time?" Prince Holthisius says, "You stand ready to invade us, and you speak of alliances. He begins to turn and waves his hand over his shoulder. I've heard enough. Kaida says, wait, with a deep rumble to his voice. I must admit, I did until recently intend to sack this place and behead the whole lot of you. But now, I'm at an impasse. You're worried about the forces from the gloom, Prince Althisius says. You can see that your forces are only days from being picked apart outside these gates. Daeren Kaidas bites his cheek, and clearly the prince has gotten under his nerves a little bit. My armies on the march are always vulnerable. Prince Althisius says, you'll get no charity from us. Lord Kaidas says, if you do not open the gates, I'll make this clear. If you do not open the gates and ally with us, we will have no choice but to attack. There is more to this war than looks at in the forefront. We have bigger enemies together.
What, your mates up there?
He turns to you and says, you, a lowborn, and the rest of you, stifling my plans from day one. I've heard news. I know what you did to my son.
Lowborn's killed your son? Oh, sorry.
I wouldn't speak of to my friends and call them lowborns when you yourself have a lowborn son.
Oh,
Oh, oh.
The only value of lowborns is that they know loyalty. My sons are loyal. As for you... well... Prince Althisius turns to you all and says, I think he's being serious about offering an alliance.
Would you
In the
like
moment,
our
this-
counsel?
Group huddle, he says. Let's just...
I do not think we should take his alliance. You cannot trust him. He has red glowing eyes.
Yeah,
Hang on a minute. I find that offensive.
That
I know too.
That lot up there, probably something to do with him.
The moment this pallor fades, he'll have our heads from within the city. To let him in would be to invite death.
Daeren
already-
Kaidas speaks up. He says, to sweeten the deal. Outside, pushing through the crowd of soldiers that's behind Daeren Kaidas. As the group opens up, a small child is pushed forward. Those who have seen him before recognize him as the Padrin. A youthful elf of about 14 or 15, but he looks extremely pallid and very ill. He looks very skinny. He can barely stand up.
Does he
Daeren
have
Kaidas. Oh, go on.
Does he have the same eyes and the like as Kaidas does?
No, he doesn't. He has the same kind of silver eyes of the House of Valoran royal bloodline. His hair is patchy and sort of almost like hay and like kind of straw, half kind of falling out in clumps. But his clothes are very well maintained and very good. He's sort of led up next to Daeren Kaidas, and Daeren puts his hand on his shoulder and says, my boy, turning to the Padrin, how would you like to return back to your family? And the Padrin says, I am the Padrin of all Adana. I will not go back with these traitors. Prince Althisius says, cousin. Daeren Kaidas turns to you all and says, there we are. The lot of you are traitors to the Emperor, your leader.
Oh, cut the shit. No one's
And-
buying it. You tortured a kid and made him say some bullshit. Like, none. Your troops don't even buy that.
And what of my sister, who you also took?
Daeren Kaidos laughs and turns around and says, "Do not worry." He snaps his fingers, and pushing out of the crowd, you see, held behind a couple of Kaidas soldiers, Alora, Malfire. He says, "Will you open the gates for her?"
What does she say?
She's currently got a gag in her mouth.
What does she do?
She's sort of just being held by a couple of soldiers at the moment. She looks like fairly well treated. Like, she doesn't have any bruises or anything on her. But she's not there with her husband anymore. You don't know at what point she was whisked away from the city and given into Daeren Kaidas's care.
And what about Hansine Malfire?
He did his duty, Daeren Kaidas says.
And what duty was that?
He distracted your mother's soldiers.
Oh.
A plan we had made from the start. Unfortunately, he was a little bit, how do I say it, hazy about the danger it may cause to him, which is why I took his wife as tribute until he did his duty.
Well, he's done it now, so let her go.
Unfortunately, he passed away in his defense of the city.
Well, let her go because he's done his duty. Prove to me that you can keep deals.
Open the gates and she'll be yours.
No.
I'll
hand
make
her
it easy. I'll let you all go. You can all get on a boat and fight again another day. Hand over the city.
How's Prince Felicius reacting to this?
He just looks angry. But he's got his mouth shut at the moment.
Okay.
You try to make this deal with us. You cannot keep the deal you made with Tanzine. You cannot release my sister. We cannot trust you to keep your deals. You told us that the Padron would be kept safe, and here we are.
Is he not here? Daeren says.
Here, but not safe.
Plus, not really. Look at him. That's your Padron right there. Look what you've done to him. And you talk about loyalty.
Daeren says, "Indeed. Let me show you loyalty." He grabs the Padrin by the shoulder and he looks over to his men. One by one, they take off their helmets, revealing underneath pallid, white skin with red eyes, sharp teeth. As Daeren Kaidas begins to curl over the Padrin's neck and starts to drink blood from his neck.
Is he killing him?
No, Prince Hortesius steps forward a little bit and sort of starts banging against the.
Oh, I'm gonna intervene.
Are they both within 15 feet?
They're probably about 45 feet away, but
Okay.
there's a whole row of soldiers behind them who will just like engulf them and just push them back if you were to attack.
I was
So
just thinking Glimpse of Redemption, but if he's more than 15 feet, then
Right.
mind.
Daeren Kaidas just takes a couple of bites, a couple of swigs from the boy's neck, who does not even wince in pain or anything. He just lets it happen, and then he takes Daeren brings his head back and wipes his mouth with a handkerchief, and says, "Royal blood, truly the best." Prin-
I would like to cast Disintegrate on them using my blood magic because I take this as a threat on my sister's life. Like,
Alright.
I'm assuming he's gonna do this to her.
Okay, make it a set.
I'm gonna use a hero point on both saves, both parts of the saves as well. So this means that I'm gonna use blood
Are you
magic.
doing it on Daeren Codus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna use blood magic, which means that they
You'll
can't.
get one shot off because he'll just immediately disappear behind soldiers afterwards.
Yeah. So confusing, the spell. So they make a spell attack with hero point. Come on. Ugh. So 33 to hit.
Let me just check which one it is. I need to get up his sheet.
But yeah, it's weird because I have a new thing with blood magic where I don't use any components.
All right, that hits.
Okay. And then can they do a save? But I'm gonna use another hero point on the save.
Okay.
So it will be one above.
That's a failure.
Okay, so it'll be a critical failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So it'd be 150.
So you shoot out a black bolt of powerful disintegrating magic, which shoots out and hits Daeren Kaidas in the side of his shoulder, takes a chunk out of his upper arm and shoulder, and just his arm falls off and just lands on the ground as he sort of reels back in pain. The soldiers immediately rush forward as they just are going to all start throwing javelins through the thing. Obviously, it's time to probably run away.
I would like to throw myself on the path.
Yeah, can you all make reflex saving throws, please?
I'd like to get down, Mr. President.
Did we not like just fight them? Like, or is that not?
Well, there's a whole army outside there, so they're in the process of pushing through. He's been being dragged through the crowds.
Oh, okay.
But there's a thick iron portcullis between you, so if you want to.
Where did Delora go?
Alora's sort of being pulled back into the crowd as well.
Okay. Did she see me cast the scary magic?
Yeah.
I'm good. I hope she's impressed.
Have you done that before?
I mean,
Not in
she's
front of her.
never seen it before.
The blood magic.
No, I got it this level.
Okay.
It's a class feat.
Right, what did everyone get?
So I need to take.
I got a.
It does cost health to do. I can't just do it.
Alright, Cyan, that's a crit success. You managed to avoid taking any damage. Henning, that is a failure. So that's 51. This is just like accumulated damage from just like people throwing things as you're escaping. Calcifer, that's a crit success. You don't take anything. Hanera, that is a ooh, hang on, let me just double check. That is a fail. That is a fail. So you take 51. Hank takes 51. Did I do you, Cascus?
I got the same as.
Okay, yeah, that's
thing, so
yeah.
she might take damage.
Yeah, you take 51 as well.
Cool.
Yeah, as rows and rows of vampire soldiers start throwing shit at you through the the portcullis as you make your way back through the tunnel.
Could I just like drop a huge wall of flame down the tunnel there and
Yeah, of course you can. You can do that.
like?
It depends if you want to or not right now. Like it's yeah. It's your choice. They're not following after.
They're not following after them.
No.
No, I could angle it all the way down so it roasts everyone going backwards, including his family.
Yeah. All right, so you burst out the tunnel on the other side, sort of clutching at bleeding wounds, with Prince Holthisius in tow, who managed to avoid taking any damage there. Prince Holthisius says, "I'll kill every one of them." As a couple of guards approach and say, "My prince, what happened?" And he says, he looks at you all, and then he looks back at the guards and says, "Prepare the city for a siege. They'll be attacking tonight. I know it. I should have known Daeren was not going to give any reasonable terms." He turns to the rest of you before he gets into the coach and says, "Do not tell them about the Padron."
Maybe I should have killed the Padron.
Oh my god.
What?
Put him out of his
Evil
misery.
mode.
Yeah, put him out of his misery because he's going to be a vampire, isn't he?
That would be a big faux.
That's
That would be
funny.
such a big faux pas in your society.
Or accidentally. No, because then we would just.
You
threaten-
would be a kingslayer.
I'd
Just a
threaten,
little bit of
like,
regicide.
How many other people were there? I thought it was just us.
It was literally. It was you and the
Yeah.
Padron. Yeah, it was the group in the Padron.
Yeah, see, if I just. And then we just were like, oh, well, Prince Kaidos killed. Wait, we killed Prince Holthisius. Then the next person in line to the throne would be one of the princesses. Kill them, and then Kaidos, he's a
Oh
vampire.
my
He doesn't have
God.
royal blood anymore. He has
Stop it.
vampire blood. And then my two sisters, we can marry them off and send them to another country, and then I'd be in charge.
Okay, so I
Great.
think Hanera's the BBG, and I think Hanera's. I
Yeah,
think
she's the
Mike's
secret
been
mastermind
planning
of
this
all of
the whole time.
Prince Holthisius, did you hear what he said? He said, "Don't tell anyone about the Padron."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He closes the door and speeds back towards the palace of the prophet to command the troops. You see a number of soldiers going up the various staircases up to the city wall, which is ahead. As you start to hear the barking of orders and the marching of troops as they start to line up and sort of get ready. Right, so what would you like to do?
I would like to. I think during the first section of the siege, I want to rescue Hanera's sister.
I actually have a plan for that.
Okay, sick. I'm going to use scrying not right away once they're more settled, to sort of see what she's up to and sort of like get an idea of like where she is and what she's up, like what her views are on the situation.
Okay. Cool.
Because I don't want it to be a trap.
So seeing in the air above you, Arakin is flying in circles around the city. He glances down at you and begins to fly and land right next to you in the square. As he lands, the stone cracks beneath his heavy claws. He says, "I have given my allegiance to the city troops and the city defenders during this time. I will be used to keep the skies clear from any Kirax invaders. But if you need me, I can fly you anywhere."
How will we call for you?
Whistle at a certain frequency, and I will scan for it. And if I pick it up, then if you just give me a warning and and it's loud enough, I will be able to hear you.
Wait, can you hear?
But I have very good hearing.
Can you hear any frequency?
High-pitched frequencies work better, I suppose.
What is a frequency?
Like a high note.
I see.
If you have an instrument or something, just call for me. I'll hear you. As long as you're out in the open, of course.
Can you hear this? And he just pulls the detonator for the bombs.
He sort of shrinks back a little bit and says, a little bit. It is kind of annoying, though.
Oh. That could work.
It's like a mosquito in my ears.
Didn't know it made a noise, to be honest.
Well, a lot of I recognize a lot of magical frequencies as sound as well. That being said, is there anything you need from me?
No,
A
I
shoulder
don't
to
think
cry
so.
on.
Well, I don't have I don't have shoulders like you know them. So goodbye.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
He lifts off and flies
What
off.
a charmer.
I've got an idea, but I'm not sure people are going to like it.
Hmm.
Do you think I could possibly... I don't know if I can or not, but do you think people like myself can turn into those vampire fuckers?
What do you mean by vampire fucker?
The
Wait, is that
fuckers that are
plan?
vampires, the
Alright, not
soldiers.
people who want to fuck vampires.
No. Well, I think that's a genre of literature we're not ready for yet. No. Because all we could need is a few of those soldiers. And then find a way out of the city. You could mount a rescue mission.
So what, you can sign
Next,
into a loss?
Next appears. A rescue mission's always going to be risky, you know that.
Everything we're doing right now is risky, but this way could at least provide a potentiality of getting both Hanera's sister and the Padron out of there.
Hanera's sister's more important, just FYI. I know we think Padron, yeah, they are the most in charge. However, Hanera's sister is the most important, and I just need everyone to remember that when we do this mission.
All
I know
we would
you've
need-
got your personal connection there. But what do, from a logistical standpoint, what do we gain here?
No, they
the
have no
Padron.
bargaining chips.
I mean,
Yeah, having Allura is a pretty big bargaining chip with the whole of the northeast.
And also the Padron.
Nick says, and Kaidos was probably going to hold on to her so he can use that as a peacekeeping chip when he takes the city.
Exactly, which is why we need a few dead vampires, a few Azura, play dress up. All we need to make sure is that they can't smell us.
Oh, going into a camp full of evil vampires sounds scary, Nick says.
Well, I think it's our only shot.
I guess I'll be preparing teleports tomorrow. Are we going tonight or tomorrow in the morning?
I think the siege is today, right?
The siege will happen this evening, I assume, Nick says, if the prince is...
Well, I can't. I already have scrying, so. But we could get a scroll from
Silver Lady.
Silver Shadow.
Shadow.
She's gone, isn't she? Well, she's not doing that job anymore, right?
No, but she's still in the She's in the palace.
Yeah, she's in the palace.
She might be able to do us one. Or two.
Probably has more ability now than before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could also help get my people out of here quicker if we can demonstrate use.
Yeah.
I think it's our best shot. We just need a few volunteers. Hanera could be an envoy sent to negotiate, perhaps in secrecy, to discuss terms for her sister.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of just teleporting in, and then sneaking in to find Allura, and then teleporting out. And then once we know the layout a bit of the camp, we can make another mission for the Patron.
I think we should, respectfully, prioritize the Padron's safe return.
Oh, no. Okay, start again. Look, we went all that way and helped your family, and now it's helping Nera time with Allura, the Padron, he's gone, right? He's gone. We're never getting him back. The best thing to do is to kill him, and then let the whole Theseus rule.
Nick says,
About letting a
quite
child die.
Nick's
He's already dead. He's a vampire now.
He's not a
don't think he
vampire. He's just
is.
being fed on.
Nick
That-
says, yeah,
That
there was
people
no
vampire?
evidence that he's a vampire. It
Right.
looked like he was just being
I
used as a blood
thought
bag.
that's how vampires were made.
No.
No,
Not-
I think
not
it's like
in
they
this world.
feed the. I
Right.
think they feed the blood, or they give the immortality elixir, and then you become a vampire.
Okay.
He says, Nick says, well, if the prisoners are close to Daeren Kaidos and important to him, they'll be in his camp, and they'll be close together, surely. They're not going to keep them miles away. We might be able to get them both. And it might be close to Daeren Kaidos himself. If we could... we could potentially assassinate him. Decapitate
do-
the leadership.
I do have that sword.
We'll have a think about that over the week then, and we'll finish up here, though, shall we?
Cool.
Alright, thanks for playing. It's 10
Thanks for
o'clock.
running.
And we'll
thanks
get
for
back to it
running.
next time. Yeah, as the siege approaches, as the last preparations begin, yeah, things to mull about and things to have to think about. But thanks for playing.
See
Do
you
you want to
next.
end this? Yeah, see you next time.
Yeah, see you next week.
Dinguses.
Yeah, dinguses and dingoes.